Good evening. My name is Lori Zabata, and I'm a proud JWU alum and Director of Alumni Relations here at Johnson & Wales University. Thank you for joining us this evening for our annual Distinguished Alumni Awards, part of Reunion Week. I'm so excited to finally have the opportunity to celebrate tonight's incredible recipients. We had planned to honor them during last year's reunion, which was abruptly canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So we're so happy to be here tonight. While I'd rather be with you all in person this year, let's keep this celebration as lively as possible. With that said, please keep your cameras on throughout the event to cheer on our award recipients, but please keep your mics muted. We can also use the reaction emojis at the bottom of your screen, like these, as demonstrated by the Alumni Relations team, to share your support. Please also feel free to add your congratulations in the chat. Tonight, we're honoring 3 impressive alumni who have demonstrated exceptional service to their communities, exhibited a high degree of character and integrity, achieved a career of noteworthy accomplishment, and have demonstrated extraordinary support to Johnson & Wales University and the Alumni Relations effort. First and foremost, I'd like to welcome our award recipients and their guests. I'd also like to acknowledge members of university administration, including Providence Campus President Marie Bernardo Souza. I'm also pleased to welcome past Distinguished Alumni Award recipients, members of the JWU faculty, staff, and of course, our alumni. Thank you all for being here. Tonight, we will present 3 awards: the Graduate of the Last Decade or Gold Award, the Alumni Service Award, and the Outstanding Achievement Award. Through a call for nominations from faculty and staff, a pool of candidates was reviewed and our awardees were selected. I speak for the entire university when I say we're incredibly proud of this cohort of award recipients, and we're thrilled to celebrate them tonight. It is my honor to kick off the program with the introduction of tonight's Graduate of the Last Decade Award recipient, Michael Levine. I remember when I first was introduced to Michael in 2014. We had invited a small group of alumni to get together in New York to update them on all that was going on at JWU and how they could be involved. One of the invitees contacted us and asked if she could bring along a young superstar alum. She insisted that we just had to meet Michael and we would not be sorry for allowing him to join that evening's group. To say that was an understatement is, well, quite an understatement. Michael came into that room with so much to offer and quite the extensive list of accomplishments for such a young alum. I knew he was going to be one to watch. Michael began his JWU journey in September of 2009 as a culinary student. In addition to his rigorous academic schedule, Michael played soccer his first and second years. He also carried his high school membership in Future Business Leaders of America, Phi Beta Lambda Incorporated, with him to JWU, feeling that it was an important outlet for him early in life, as he wanted to be around others who were interested in pursuing a career in business. Michael earned both his AS in Culinary Arts and BS in Food Service Entrepreneurship in 2012 from the Providence campus. Majoring in entrepreneurship fit Michael perfectly. While completing his education at JWU, Michael realized his high school dream of starting a business and founded Global Food Solutions, which develops food products and brands for the food service and school food service industries. Since then, he's founded LineCore Distribution Solutions, which provides scalable third-party logistics and distribution services after he identified a gap in traditional delivery methods. I distinctly remember a visit to Michael's facility when he proudly toured me around telling me about LineCore. With genuine excitement and passion for this venture, he shared his vision of a more connected network of freight providers to keep the supply chain moving more efficiently. I was so impressed that he had identified this opportunity and found a solution to offer to the market, the truest example of entrepreneurial spirit. And as if successfully running 2 businesses isn't enough, Michael recently launched the Levine Angel Fund, a private venture investing in social impact business models. With a desire to always keep learning, Michael holds more than 20 food safety certifications, setting him apart from so many in his industry. He has continued honing his skills and expertise through education in food safety and regulatory compliance, food sustainability, commercial food brand development and marketing, and enterprise software solutions for commercial food organizations. These skills, matched with Michael's knowledge in developing food products, exceeding rigorous USDA and FDA regulatory standards, has proven valuable, not only for his own business, but also for those who consume the products he's helped produce. He has worked with some of North America's largest food manufacturers and agricultural providers to focus on developing healthy, sustainable food products for the food service industry while supporting local producers to maintain fresh, nutritious foods. Through his work, Michael has developed and launched more than 400 products in the food service and school food service industries. The result is feeding tens of millions of students in schools each year, while also providing meals to those in need through government assistance programs, healthcare operations, and the military. A truly loyal and dedicated individual, Michael remains devoted to community building in areas his companies operate by supporting local schools and businesses. Michael is actively involved with No Kid Hungry and Be Strong, a national nonprofit aimed at bullying resiliency. Michael was named to the Forbes 30 Under 30 list in the food and drink category, and was also one of 30 distinguished chefs and food experts invited to the National Peanut Council's Millennial Food Summit and the National Peanut Council's Harvest Summit. His company, Global Food Solutions, has been named to the Inc. 5000 list for fastest growing private companies in America. Michael is an active member of the JWU alumni community, sharing his knowledge and expertise with our students and fellow alumni. He attends alumni programs, has participated as a panelist, both on and off campus, and virtually in 2016 was showcased at our prestigious Alumni Leaders on Campus program. We always enjoy spending time with Michael, who has a zest for life, determined focus on his businesses and community, and cares deeply for JWU and its students. It has been my pleasure to know him for the last 7 years and look forward to many, many more opportunities to showcase his talents and knowledge. Michael Levine, class of 2012, in recognition of your burgeoning success in your industry and your active involvement in university life, it is my honor to present you with the Johnson & Wales University Graduate of the Last Decade Award. Your achievements are an inspiration to our students and young alumni alike.
Thank you so much, Lori. And thank you guys for this absolutely beautiful award that you guys sent. When I first stepped foot on campus in 2009, I knew I wanted to pursue my life's work in the food industry, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to be or what direction I wanted to take for myself. Now, over 10 years later, so much has changed in our world as I sit here today, incredibly humbled by this award and recognition, and having found my passion. It took time to identify who I was, what I wanted to do in the world, and what I was curious about. But Johnson & Wales helped nurture my curiosity. At Johnson & Wales, we were encouraged to explore, create, develop, and expand our perspectives beyond the familiar. This helped me find myself. It helped challenge, enlighten, exhaust, and excite me, and ultimately welcomed me into an incredible community driven to change the world for the better. As a two-time alum, I learned a great deal from my time at Johnson & Wales, but none of them quite prepared me for what we all experienced in 2020. Together, our world has persevered through a simultaneous global crisis, and finally, through the ingenuity and determination of outstanding people around the world, we are finally beginning to see the light at the end of the tunnel. As much as the pandemic has cast some level of uncertainty in our world, remember that alongside the worst, you will see the very best in people shine through during crisis. And we have. We have seen ingenuity and optimism in action, a rekindling of the human spirit and the desire to help others. We now have hope. As you might imagine, this is exactly how I felt the moment I graduated from Johnson & Wales. It has served as my compass since that day. There is a lot we can learn through crisis, but more importantly, I want to recognize the Johnson & Wales community for persevering through a difficult time and investing in students and in alumni. It is remarkable that we are virtually gathered here today and have a moment to celebrate. For this, I am truly grateful and extend my appreciation to everyone who made today happen and has brought this day of optimism into our lives. In addition, I'd like to take a moment and share this recognition with every person who has worked on the front lines through the pandemic. Thousands of people may never get the recognition they deserve for sacrificing, feeding, caring for, transporting, and/or protecting the lives of others. To everyone on the front lines, I share this recognition with you and extend my deepest gratitude. Today is surreal. From a college student with an idea to a Forbes recognized chef and business leader, this journey has taken me farther than I could have ever imagined, and I have Johnson & Wales to thank for it. In closing, I'm incredibly honored to receive the Gold Award and to be virtually standing alongside such great distinguished alumni that are expanding the impact of our alma mater. Receiving this award has drawn me closer to our community and has connected me to visionary Johnson & Wales leaders around the world, and I will always stand as a proud Johnson & Wales alumni. Together, we are creating opportunity for others to amplify our efforts and carry them forward, to build greater resilience in a time of need, and to develop novel solutions to alleviate some of the world's greatest challenges. Thank you so much, and I'm really humbled by the award.
Thank you, Michael, and congratulations again. Well deserved. I'd now like to introduce my colleague, Steve Shipley, classes of 1985 and 2006, to present the next award, the Alumni Service Award.
Hello, my name is Steve Shipley. I'm a senior major gifts officer at Johnson & Wales University. I'm also a very proud graduate. I have the privilege of speaking about a fellow JW alumna, a very good friend and a very caring person, Lisa Capasso. What are the characteristics of a caring people? A caring person is someone that is willing to take time out of their life on a daily basis in order to help others improve their own. They are not only considerate of other people's feelings, but they also share in others' ups and downs. The characteristics of a caring person include, but are not limited to, kind, compassionate, respectful, trustworthy, and generous. Yet these characteristics do not fully define the true meaning of a caring person. A caring person should not only be recognized by their characteristics, but also by their actions. That's you, Lisa. Lisa holds multiple degrees from JW's Providence campus, an associate's in culinary arts, an associate's in accounting, and a bachelor's in food management. I was fortunate to have worked with Lisa as a fellowship instructor and later as a College of Culinary Arts faculty member at JWU. Lisa taught the front of the house with my girlfriend at that time, who later became my wife, Lori Shipley. I must say that both of them kept me and others in line and on our toes, and they still do. After graduating from JWU, Lisa worked for the Boston Park Plaza and served as a director of training for Boston Market, helping to open and support new stores across the country. I recently invited Lisa back to the Providence campus and had the privilege to meet her husband, Jerry, their children, Marco, Lorenzo, and Juliana. Lisa had the same energy and enthusiasm that she did years ago. I know that Lisa was quite impressed and surprised and very proud to see how the university had grown since her days of teaching in the culinary arts program. Lisa has volunteered and supported programs at her children's schools and has helped support her community. Lisa is very active alum, not only attends alumni events in Providence and Boston, but also has been a member of the reunion committee since its inception. She excitedly returns back to campus each year for the reunion weekend to spend time with the teaching assistant and fellow friends and meet new alumni. She is equally delighted to contribute an endowed scholarship to support current Johnson & Wales students. Lisa, we are so proud to honor you today, the Alumni Service Award. Thank you for all you do to support JWU. You are a good person. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
I really am so grateful, and I would truly like to thank the Alumni Relations team, the administration, for this great honor of being the recipient of the Alumni Service Award. And it couldn't be presented by a better friend than you, Steve, that's for sure. But by definition, service is delivering value to customers by facilitating outcomes customers want to achieve without ownership of specific costs or risks. I feel that desire to serve others was instilled in me at Johnson & Wales, as it may be for many of you especially those of us who studied culinary and hospitality. Yet service can come in many forms, from working in customer relations, to food service, to community volunteering. Much of my hospitality career was spent in the front of the house, from being a teaching assistant and fellow, to restaurant and banquet management, to training and HR management, to event planning and fundraising. But once I married 26 long years ago, I began a career of volunteer service, whether it be for my local parish, my children's schools, or my beloved alma mater, Johnson & Wales. Whenever asked, can someone help? I raise my hand. Often I have volunteered for positions which I have no prior experience or knowledge base. But I believe in the organization and I wanted to help fill a need. The ironic part is I have been blessed to be a lifelong learner. So developing new skills and knowledge, working alongside many interesting and wonderful people, forming meaningful friendships, and assisting the organization in moving toward their goals, both with hands-on activities and financially. I believe the greatest lesson we have learned from the pandemic is that humans are social creatures, and we excel when we have connectivity. The lack of connection with family, friends, co-workers, even the staff at our local restaurants and stores has demonstrated what a void we have had these past 15 months. So the next time your parish, school, club, or alma mater asks for volunteers for a project or event, raise your hand, because you never know what skill you will learn, who you will meet, what friendships will develop, or what goodness you can bring. Thank you again for this distinguished honor.
Thank you, Steve, and congratulations, Lisa. Thank you for all you do for JWU and our students. For the evening's final presentation, the Outstanding Achievement Award, please join me in welcoming JWU alumna and Providence Campus President, Marie Bernardo Souza.
Thank you, Lori. Good evening, everyone. I'm so honored to be with you to celebrate our award recipients, and I'm thrilled to present tonight's Outstanding Achievement Award to Scott Davis, class of 1980. Since his teenage years, Scott worked in kitchens and loved how it introduced him to people from every walk of life. Attending Johnson & Wales in Providence, where he studied hospitality management, was a way to stay close to home while learning, as he puts it, to take care of people. For 6 years after graduation, Scott was the director of operations for one of Boston's largest off-premise caterers. After that, Whole Foods Specialty Markets recruited Scott for the next 4 years. Scott spent the majority of his time designing, building, and renovating restaurants, prepared food operations, and production kitchens for this nationally recognized retailer. Scott began his career with FLIK Hospitality Group in 1989 and was promoted to vice president in 1993 and vice president of operations in November of 1998. Scott was promoted to president in 1999 and chief executive officer in 2015, responsible for all aspects of the business. As the CEO of FLIK Hospitality Group, which operates hospitality services for private schools, corporate dining, conference reception, and AV services for over 800 clients in 43 states, Scott brings that high degree of care to every person. And to the extent such a thing could be possible, every trace of food he oversees. The challenges are obvious at a company so large, but he strives for zero waste. One of the earliest moves at FLIK was to ditch all of the styrofoam. And more recently, he has worked to get FLIK leftovers to food banks and shelters around New York. From this experience, Scott was asked to serve on the board of hunger-related events, which raises money for charities supporting food insecurity and facilitates Taste of the NFL, a Super Bowl charity food event featuring chefs and players from each NFL city. During this pandemic, FLIK associates and their clients have also prepared food for shelters, food banks, and other agencies in need. Today, 3 decades into his career at FLIK, he has come to rely on his alma mater for a pipeline of talent. For the past dozen years, he and his leadership team from across the country have held a dinner in Providence with prospective hires from Johnson & Wales, inviting about 20 of them on a group interview over a big meal. Among the 200 students they've hired from those dinners, several have risen to become executives at FLIK. Harry Dufrey, class of 2007, began as a sous chef and continues to delight everyone that he is interacting with. He now has a direct report with Rapport, FLIK's national provider for conference and reception services. Nutrition Director Tracy, class of 2004, leads health and wellness initiatives at Fidelity Investments, which are often benchmarked as the industry's gold standard. Scott has become masterful at identifying the best hospitality hires, noting that these individuals enjoy working with people and taking care of guests, has found that turnover is very, very low when JWU students join the company. He also personally sees to it that they are succeeding. He cares greatly for his alma mater. He has served as an adjunct professor, co-teaching a course with Professor Stuchel in the College of Hospitality Management. During the course, he provided every student with a strengths test and invited them to participate in the selective dinner with FLIK executives. He has also hosted alumni events at FLIK locations in New York City and invited JWU staff and faculty to FLIK's annual summit. Lastly, he has served as a member of the corporation, providing guidance and insight to university leadership. Scott Davis, class of 1980, in recognition of the outstanding impact you have had on your industry, I present to you the Outstanding Achievement Award. You truly exemplify the Johnson & Wales University tradition of excellence. You are a role model for our classmates, current students, and for the greater JWU community. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, President Bernard and Susan. I don't even want to touch this. I have white gloves on so I don't get fingerprints on my award. This is perhaps the most humbling moment of my career. And I think I got to do a woo-hoo for everybody out there, because this is truly amazing. I'm a dishwasher. I grew up as a dishwasher. And I spent my entire college years working in the dish room in order to make ends meet. Most importantly, have a little money left over to buy a beer or two at the end of the week. So first, I'm going to start my remarks with, you don't know how big your blind spot is until you get back to the campus and start looking and seeing what the university and students are doing, because it truly was eye-opening for me. And very selfishly, I began to make relationships reinvigorate relationships at the university, because I could see the students that were coming out of the university were going to be the only way I could grow my company. I had a connection to the university. I was passionate about the university, and the access that I had to the university allowed it no longer to be an institution, but to make it a bunch of people that I got to know really well. And through those relationships, instead of dealing with an institution, I was able to recruit the best of the best at the university. And I wouldn't be in front of you today without the university being open-minded to allowing us in and going after their best students and hosting the dinners that we have year after year. I would have never been able to grow my organization and do the kinds of things that Dr. Souza just talked about. So a big thank you to Chancellor Rooney, Maureen Dumas, Laurie Zapata, Liza Gentile, everyone at Alumni Relations. Tonight's winners and past awardees, a huge congratulations. I am humbled to share the stage with you and walk in your footsteps. And then finally, a big thank you to the faculty, because the faculty at the university makes it all work for us to be able to continue to move forward and move our businesses forward and rely on growing hospitality the right way. JWU has allowed us to grow hospitality the right way through their commitment to excellence. And it's never lost on me and the people that are here. So I just want to talk about a couple of memories at the university and then have a bit of a close. You know, when I went, being the elder statesman is, this is the first for me. So I'm proud to share the stage with you, but having so much tenure with the city of Providence. I saw the Talking Heads first conference at Ocean State Theater. The Godfather just opened when I was a freshman at Ocean State Theater. I got to see Bo Diddley in a tiny little bar in Providence, which are memories for me. But one of the biggest memory for me was, since we have a wine tasting tomorrow night, was the wine tasting back 45 years ago that I attended as a student. A very dapper European gentleman got in front of us and had us taste wine. Now, as an 18-year-old, and you could drink at 18 back then, wine was really intimidating. The only thing I really knew was Blue Nun. But he broke everything down in such simple forms that I became a great lover of food and wine just from that meeting. And the thing that he said was, don't be intimidated by a wine list. He said, the best wine menu I've ever seen had two wines on it. It had a white wine and a red wine. And it said, please order by number in order not to avoid confusion. That was the takeaway for me, is things don't need to be so sophisticated. They can be simple. And you can have just a simple approach to the hospitality industry and make your way through and do great things. So I wish you all the very best. My final points are going to be made on hunger. I want to come back to Michael's piece on children and food insecurity in the United States. You're all giving back. I'm sure you wouldn't be on this call if you weren't giving back in the hospitality or some form to the industry that you work in. But I will just say, to make a special plug, since I am so involved with hunger-related events, that 12 million children are food insecure in this country. That means 17% of the children lack the nourishment they need to grow. And in the food bank world, which I work a lot with, $1 creates 7 meals. How they do that magic, I'll never understand. But I will just say this, that if you could just look into, in your communities, some form of hunger-related proceeds or contributions, it will go so far. It'll be so meaningful in a period of time where COVID has wreaked havoc on so many families. So kudos to Michael and all of you. I just want to say I'm bowled over by the award, and I've never had an introduction like that. So thank you so much for that. I really do feel privileged to be with everybody. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, President Bernardo Souza, and congratulations on your award, Scott. We're so proud of you and all that you've accomplished in your career. I'd like to take a minute to congratulate once again our 3 award recipients, Michael Levine, Lisa Tomasulo-Capasso, and Scott Davis. We're so proud of you and applaud you for all you've done and all you continue to do in your career, for your community, and for Johnson & Wales University. Last but certainly not least, I'd like to thank all of our attendees this evening. To our alumni specifically, I hope tonight was a reminder of the power and importance of the Alumni Network. Please stay connected with us through email, social media, and by attending events. Visit the alumni website at alumni.jwu.edu for more details.